You know, just a few years ago, there was this big narrative surrounding Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs prior to winning their first national championship since 1980. And that narrative was that Kirby Smart could not handle the quarterback position, right? From his early days at Georgia, not starting Jacob Eason game one against North Carolina. Obviously, he would go on to start most of the games in 2016 to replacing Jacob Eason, who was hurt with Jake Fromm, to signing Justin Fields, to, deciding to keep playing Jake Fromm over Justin Fields. Justin Fields leaves. Jake Fromm leaves. Now, you're dealing with Dwan Mathis and Stetson Bennett and, JT Daniels in 2020. For a while, it was a little bit of a mess. But that narrative has turned around completely. And now Kirby Smart has put the Dogs in a position to where they can go out and get any quarterback in the country and tell them truthfully, hey, you can come here and be a Heisman Trophy finalist. You could come to Georgia and throw for 4,000 yards. You could come to Georgia and lead this team full of receivers, full of running backs, full of tight ends, and a massive offensive line in front of you. You can come here and put up giant numbers. Georgia used to be a place where it was, just running back university. Talented quarterbacks would come through, but they would never put up giant numbers. No one was ever in the Heisman Trophy conversation, nothing like that, right? It's different now. And I think that it all started with 2020. And it all started with Stetson Bennett. And a lot of Georgia fans should remember that they didn't want Stetson Bennett, right? Everyone remembers the story. But Kirby Smart sticking with Stetson Bennett over JT Daniels, really it started in 2021 when he made that decision. He had a more, talented guy, or a more talented arm, I should say, in JT Daniels instead of Stetson Bennett. But they chose to go with Stetson in that UAB game. And I remember, writing that week, of course, this is after the Clemson game where Georgia just could not score. JT Daniels was hurt in that game, and we knew he was hurt for sure after that Clemson game. And I remember writing that, this is the time to see what you have in Carson Beck. We saw Stetson Bennett, what he did in 2020, which was fine. I think he exceeded everyone's expectations in that COVID season. But is that the guy that's going to lead you to a national championship? At that time, I thought no. I thought, Carson Beck is a second-year player now, four-star kid. He's a good player, obviously, and I knew he was good at the time. And I wrote a story that said, just play Carson Beck against UAB. If it's not JT Daniels, Carson Beck is the future. Play him. Well, no, they played Stetson Bennett. He threw for 5 touchdown passes, would end up winning the job over JT Daniels and winning them a national championship. And that really threw that narrative out the window that Kirby couldn't handle the quarterback. He started making the right decision with the quarterback. And you could say 2021, but really against Arkansas in 2020 when Dwan Mathis was throwing the ball who knows where, just all over the place. And you're thinking, how in the world did this guy win the starting quarterback position at Georgia, when a couple of years ago you had this whole Jake Fromm, Justin Fields controversy, 2 really good quarterbacks, 2 former 5-stars. Now you're settling for a raw, better athlete than quarterback Dwan Mathis. Well, you had to make a change early in that game, early in the season, obviously, and they went to Stetson Bennett. He led them back, and ever since then, it's been kind of a smooth transition. You had 2 monster years from Stetson Bennett in 21 and 22, and a lot of this is Todd Monken, right? Todd Monken, the greatest offensive coordinator in Georgia history. I think that's safe to say. He helped develop these guys along the way, but Kirby's still the head man, and he should get credit for this. And then in comes Carson Beck, which was the plan. He sat patiently, waited his turn because he knew he had an opportunity to do big things in 2023 when Stetson Bennett was finally gone. And he did. He had a monster season, and he should have another monster season now. It would not shock me. It would surprise me a little bit just because it's never happened before if Carson Beck goes out and throws for 4,000 yards, 30-plus touchdowns, and maybe wins a Heisman Trophy. I mean, he's one of the better quarterbacks returning. He should be one of the favorites to win the Heisman Trophy. If he does, then no one can ever say a word about quarterbacks not being able to do whatever they want at a place like Georgia. And Stetson Bennett showed that you can lead a Georgia Bulldog offense with your arm. Aaron Murray did it, and Matthew Stafford did it, and Jake Fromm had some running backs behind him, but they never really relied on Jake Fromm to win them ball games with their arm. That's not what they wanted to do. You can ask a guy like Carson Beck to go out and say, hey, the run game's not working. We need you to win this game through the air. We need you to make big throws. Stetson Bennett was able to do that. We know Carson Beck is. But after this year, there's still a good-looking quarterback future in Athens. I mean, Gunnar Stockton is probably one of the better backup quarterbacks in the SEC. And he's got a bright future. I know the staff is very high on him. It should be his job next year as a fourth-year player in 2025. He's not going to be some new guy. This will be his fourth year next year. And that should be the year where he wins the job. After that, you've got Ryan Puglisi. If Gunnar Stockton is 1 year and out, then it's Ryan Puglisi who would probably take over year 3, right? And after that, it looks like Jared Curtis, but they still need a quarterback in the 2025 class, whether that's Juju Lewis or Matt Zollers or Ryan Montgomery, who it feels like he's leaning elsewhere. They still need to sign a quarterback in this current 2025 cycle. They only signed one in 2024 in Ryan Puglisi, and that helps their chances with Julian Lewis, absolutely. But that could ultimately be a depth chart / NIL factor there. If Georgia can address the needs of Juju and the family, and I think they've already shown him, dude, you can come here and win. This is not what it used to be at Georgia. There's no quarterback just mess. Because it kind of was a little bit of a mess. They had a consistent 3 years with Jake Fromm, but Jake Fromm would not win the starting job at Georgia today. With this program moving forward, if Jake Fromm comes in and that's the best you have, that's not where Kirby Smart and his program want to be. They needed Jake Fromm at that time, but Jake Fromm's not better than Stetson Bennett. Jake Fromm was not better than Carson Beck. Is he better than Gunnar Stockton? Who knows? That's a question for the future. But Jared Curtis in the 26 class, no matter who they sign in 25, they've got a really, really good one in Jared Curtis. Now, he doesn't play against the best competition, didn't have the best numbers. It wasn't a great season overall. I say they didn't play against great competition. They did play against Prince Avenue and lost by like 40s. They played some good teams, but it's not teams that are, it's not 6A, 5A, 7A ball in Georgia. They weren't playing against those teams. They were playing against good teams for their classification. But the arm talent's there, the size is there, the mobility is there, the big playability is there, the accuracy, the ability to push the ball down the field, the ability to throw on the run. He's a very good player who gets it. He's got good feet. He moves well in the pocket. He understands his job, his role. He's a really, really good player. So the point I'm trying to make is that Georgia's going to be set. They're going to be perfectly fine at quarterback for the foreseeable future moving forward. They're going to be great this year. They should be great at quarterback next year. If Gunnar Stockton is the guy in his 4th year, I expect a big year. Ryan Puglisi is going to be a really good quarterback. Now, whether he stays in Athens or transfers somewhere, that's, the question for down the road. But he's going to be a good quarterback wherever he ends his career, whether it's in Athens or somewhere else. But especially if he's not starting till year 3 and he gets, 2 full years of development and, understanding the process and the playbook and, practicing against really good players every day in practice, that's going to make him better. So at the end of the day, the days of quarterback controversy in Athens, there will be quarterback battles. I don't know if there's going to be a quarterback controversy anytime soon. I don't see any case where a guy like DeJuan Mathis is playing or a walk-on. I don't see another walk-on quarterback starting for the University of Georgia anytime soon. Anytime soon. Probably not in the Kirby Smart era, because they're going to be able to stack 5 and 4 and 5 and 4 stars at quarterback year after year after year. So the walk-on / DeJuan Mathis stuff, it's, a guy gets hurt and you have to start a true freshman like they did in 17. Your sophomore quarterback goes down, so you have to insert a true freshman quarterback in, week 1. First game of the season against App State. That's not happening anymore in Athens. That they're not going to be in a position like that, and it's because of Kirby Smart and what he's built. And hiring Todd Monken. And, Todd Monken obviously helped out a lot. But at the end of the day, Kirby Smart, went with the decision to put Stetson Bennett in the game against Arkansas and start Stetson Bennett over JT Daniels in 2021. And, everything's gone according to plan ever since. Stetson Bennett helped them, win 2 national championships, led them to 2 titles. Carson Beck has a chance to do that next year. And, moving forward, quarterback is going to be a very, very talented position in Athens, Georgia. Thanks for watching this video. You can sign up to our free newsletter, read more about this topic and others by signing up to our, again, the newsletter. It's free to sign up. It's in the description down below. Sign up for free. Read a lot of free stories on Dawg Post today. We really appreciate it. Thanks for watching this video. Hope to see you on the website.